guys, welcome back to Cooking with Neighbors. It is I, Jerri-Ellen, and today we are making hot and sour soup. Over here I have 8 cups of stock, okay? This is chicken stock. You could use vegetable stock. You can use whatever kind of stock you want. A lot of times, this is also tasty, but I'm saving this for a different soup that I am making. This is firm tofu. You can use semi-firm if you want. Right here I have wood ear mushrooms or dried black fungus mushrooms. I soak them for a few hours and I wash them several times to make sure there's no sand or grit in them. Usually I like to put shiitake mushrooms in, but the store did not have some dried shiitake, but if they did, I would take the stem off and soak them for at least 4 hours and wash them. These are cremini mushrooms. So if there were shiitake, I would use 2 of them. So I'll put the amounts below. The wood ear mushrooms have like a hard part. You can feel it. That we cut off. I stack them, okay?
Okay.
And then you can roll them up. Because I'll show you how I like putting them in there. I already did a few. And then that way, right? So then I end up with slices of it. You can leave them larger. I like having the slices or smaller chunks through. And then if this was shiitake, you take off the foot of it because it stays quite hard, and you would need like 2 or 3 of them. Rehydrate it and sliced. This is enough for the portion I'm doing today. Is enough for 4 people. Also, what I like to have in my hot and sour soup is I like bamboo, right?
Okay.
So I only need half the amount of this can of bamboo that I washed, rinsed off. If you get fresh bamboo, blanch them in some hot water for a few minutes, and then if you then take out a lot of the bitterness. If you're lucky enough to find fresh bamboo where you're at. So what I like to do is I like to chop these up as well, like into like matchstick size, and I like water chestnut.
Okay.
But the water chestnuts, I'm gonna rinse them off. They're kind of thick. So I just want to have slices of them just thin slices of them in the soup. Also, I had a small carrot. And that small carrot, I used one of these things, and they're pretty cool. Because I end up getting the little matchsticks. I like the color of the carrot in it. It's not necessary. You don't need to have it in the soup, but it looks nice. So, matchsticks. Hot and sour soup, you get a lot of spiciness from the ginger. Okay? And also another thing that the spiciness comes from, white pepper. Key. Okay? We're going to put white pepper in it. The sourness comes from the rice wine vinegar. Dark rice wine vinegar is preferred, but I have this kind on hand, so that's what I'm using. Okay? How I peel the ginger is I just take my spoon and I just I scrape off. See how easy that is? How easy that is to scrape? Okay. And then I got 2 thin slices of ginger and I cut those into matchsticks. And then those into tiny little pieces. The smaller, the better.
Okay, hold on one second.
Well, that's not a good shot of it because I got to cut it up smaller.
Oh, okay.
Okay, or you can use 2 teaspoons of this. Okay, or microplane it or chop it small.
All right.
Also have bean sprouts. Okay, so let's get started.
Bean sprouts.
2 tablespoons of dark soy sauce. 2 tablespoons of light soy sauce, or that one was light, this one's dark. 4 tablespoons of rice wine vinegar. Use dark if you have it. 2 tablespoons of...
Sriracha?
Well, it's chili garlic sauce.
Oh.
It's a chili sauce. Got garlic. This chili garlic sauce.
Chili garlic. All right.
You can use sriracha if that's what you have.
I just thought that was sriracha.
This is 2 teaspoons of sesame oil. Half a tablespoon of white pepper. You can take it back a bit if you want. A couple of teaspoons of my ginger. I'm going to put in my mushrooms, my wood ear, and my cremini. I'm going to show you how I cut up my tofu. So I'm going to slice this up. Probably about 4 ounces or so worth. Or you can cube it.
Put your carrots in it.
Okay, so I sliced up my bamboo shoots, water chestnuts, and my tofu, which you can cube or slice whatever way you want. And I'm adding that. We're also going to, at the end, we're going to have to thicken it with some cornstarch slurry, bean sprouts. And when this comes to a boil, I'm going to turn it down to a simmer for 12 minutes. Okay, I'm making a cornstarch slurry. So a couple of tablespoons of cornstarch, a couple of tablespoons of water, because I want to thicken up the soup. So it's boiling, so I can add it. Make sure that it's at a boil before you add your cornstarch slurry so it doesn't be clumpy. Okay, so I'm going to swirl this in slowly. I'm not going to stir it right away because I want it to have strands of the egg.
Wow.
You don't want to mix it yet. We're going to wait like 20-30 seconds. Sometimes we can make things sound complicated or look complicated, but it's not. The recipe will be in the description box below. Does that look tasty?
Wow, that really does kind of chunk up that egg, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's cool.
Another bowl.
Yep.
Now, when you're serving it, you could have some of the sesame oil on the table if somebody wants to add a little bit more sesame oil, or have the dark rice vinegar on the table. If somebody wants a little bit more sour, they can add a little bit of that. Oh my gosh, so good, Casey.